Hanma Baki is the world's strongest teenager. He's got legs capable of generating a massive amount of power for decisive kicks and punches, jumping out of chest-deep water with ease, cracking the ground just from starting his sprint, moving at 168 miles an hour in an instant, and even driving Hanma Yujiro back with forward steps. That's some serious leg strength! Hey guys, I'm the Anime Trainer, and today we're talking about one of the baddest martial artists in anime. And while Baki uses a variety of methods to train, from high reps to train himself to take pain, shadowboxing like no one else, sprinting, and so much more, there's one thing that we don't really see him do but can infer about based on some things that we do see him do, and that is squatting some heavy ass weight. But before we get into that, go ahead and like this video and crush that subscribe button like Baki crushes PRs. As Baki plainly has 405 on the bar for his bench press in this manga panel, we know that he moves some heavy weight in his training, and if we combine this with his natural athleticism and penchant for using so many types of training, I think it's safe to say that he would use a few different squat variations when he squats heavy. The following squat workout, well, it's actually two workouts, are designed with all of those things in mind, as well as the knowledge that too much volume on those lifts would get in the way of the rest of Baki's training. So, let's talk about the movements first. Then we'll talk about the workouts, and then we'll talk about how to use them. The three squat variations in this workout are the overhead squat, the front squat, and the back squat. First, let's talk about the overhead squat. To perform the overhead squat, start with the bar on your back in a normal squat position, but with your hands out wide. You can work your hands in closer over time if your mobility improves, but that's not entirely necessary for the movement. Using your legs to assist, drive the weight up and lock your arms out at the top of the movement. This is your starting position. You can also snatch the bar into place, but that's a little bit more difficult. Keep your elbow pits pointed up and your armpits facing forward. Perform a normal squat, pushing back at the hips, weight in the heels, chest up, and knees coming slightly forward but not in. They should not fall in toward the midline of the body, and the chest should try to stay up as vertical as possible the entire time. Get the tops of those thighs parallel to the ground at least, drive through the heels, and squeeze that booty to stand up. The overhead squat is a fairly difficult squat pattern that requires good hip, thoracic spine, and shoulder mobility in order to perform properly. It also tests your core strength and stability. The overhead squat is like a magnifying glass on your squat form. If something is wrong with your squat form, the overhead squat will accentuate that fault. At the very beginning of training this movement, you may only be able to use a wooden dowel or at most the empty bar. The overhead squat is not about strength, it's about mobility and stability, so don't feel bad if you have to start with just the bar or even a wooden dowel. The next movement is the front squat. Your hands will be just outside your shoulders. You can hold the bar lightly with two fingers or try to grab it with your whole fist, it depends on your mobility. While holding the bar, walk forward, allowing the hands to rotate underneath the bar until the bar is resting on your front delts and lightly pressing against your throat. Keep your elbows high, unrack the weight, and get into a normal squat position. As you squat, keep your chest and elbows up, hips back, weight in heels, knees not falling in, just like before. Keep your core tight, drive through the heels, squeeze the booty to stand up. If you let your elbows fall forward during any portion of this movement, you're going to lose the bar, so keep those elbows up high. Finally, the back squat. This is the one that you guys are probably most likely familiar with. The bar should be resting on your traps and the tops of your scapula. Keep your shoulder blades squeezed together, as that will help create a shelf for the bar to sit on. Once again, chest up, hips back, weight in heels, squeeze the booty. You may end up leaning a little more forward during the back squat just because of where the weight is sitting, but your goal is still more chest up than down or forward. Okay, talked about all the movements. Now let's talk about the workouts themselves. Workout A is as follows. Overhead squat, 5 sets of 1. Followed by front squat, 5 sets of 1. And followed by the back squat, 5 sets of 1. All of these sets have 2 minutes rest in between. You notice there's only 15 total reps throughout the entire workout. That's by design. It's trying to focus on building strength without necessarily tapping into too much of your energy reserves. You're going to do 10 reps with the bar to get warmed up. Your goal here is to start off lightly in the overhead squat and build to a heavy single. Around 90 to 95% of your 1 rep max for the movement. If you don't know your 1 rep max, you may have to test it, but once you know your 1 rep max, then we're going to go with around 90 to 95% of that. If you can't lift very much weight due to your mobility, just focus on good form. Do slow reps and maybe even just use a wooden dowel instead of a bar. And if you're working on your mobility, do 5 sets of 10 with the same light weight instead of the 5 sets of 1 with increasing weight. That's going to do you a lot better than trying to load a bunch of weight on the bar and not do the form properly. You want to be able to practice the form, and you can't do that if you're focused on, am I going to die underneath this weight? Once you get to 90 to 95% of your 1 rep max, it's time to move on to the front squats. The first set of the front squats will be with the weight that you finished with on overhead squats. So if you worked up to 135 pounds on your overhead squats, your first set of front squats will be with that weight. Over the next sets, you'll build to 95% of your front squat for the final set. You'll notice that the jumps in these 5 sets will be much smaller than the jumps that you made percentage-wise during the overhead squat. Once you finish the front squat, you'll use the same weight that you used for your final set of front squats for the first set of back squats, building again to 95% of your 1 rep max back squat. Once again, the jumps here will be smaller than they were during the front squat percentage-wise. If you find that you are unable to complete a single at 95% of your 1 rep max on back squat, that's likely a conditioning issue. So just back off for those last 2 sets and try to go a little heavier on the last set or 2 the next time that you do the workout. This workout is training you to build and maintain maximum strength in each of these movements. Okay, let's talk about workout B. It's the same 3 movements, but laid out a little differently. The exercises are going to go in the same order, but the rep scheme is going to be as follows. 5 reps at 50% of 1 rep max, 4 reps at 60% of 1 rep max, 3 reps at 70% of 1 rep max, 2 reps at 80% of 1 rep max, and 1 rep at 90% of 1 rep max. You'll do the same for the front squats and the back squats. The percentages for each lift are based on the 1 rep max for that exercise, so we won't be using the final weight of one exercise to start the beginning of the next exercise. The second workout is working on maximal strength as well, but is working a little bit more volume into the mix. So let's talk about how frequently you need to do these workouts. Since the workout is designed to be combined with other training programs, including cardio, calisthenics, and martial arts, if you're new to training, that means less than 6 months of training. I would only do this training once a week, alternating versions from week to week. So if you did A on week 1, you would do B on week 2. As you get more comfortable lifting, meaning 6 months to 2 years of training, you can do workout A and B in the same week. So you might do A on Wednesday and B on Saturday. When you get to be a little bit more advanced, greater than 2 years of lifting, you can move to doing the workout 3 times a week, which will mean that it will look like A, B, A on the first week and B, A, B on the second week. I wouldn't do this workout more than 3 times a week as part of a larger, more comprehensive lifting and fitness program, but you can just take this squat workout and replace your normal squat sessions with it, and it should go just fine. Remember to alternate the sessions each time you do the workout. So, how do you progress? Well, if you do each workout as it is written, the next time you do it, add 5 pounds to your 1 rep max calculation for each lift in the workout. For instance, if your 1 rep max for overhead squat was 140 pounds, it would now be 145. But don't add 5 pounds to each lift unless you were able to hit all of the requirements of the workout. 95% of 1 rep max on each lift on the last set during the first workout, and the required number of reps at each percentage on the second workout. If you hit them all, great. Add 5 pounds to your next attempt. And that's the workout. It's not a full program, but it's definitely a workout that would be included in a full Hanma Baki program. The good thing is it's also a really solid couple of standalone squat workouts. So if you are already doing a program and you want to try this squat workout, just replace the squat section of your current workout. Go ahead and do the squats, and then you can do all of the rest of your accessory exercises afterward. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching it, and an extra special thanks to our patrons and YouTube members, especially Mario Granzato, who basically owns us right now. So, yeah, thank you so much. I'm the Anime Trainer, and until next time, guys, good luck and train hard.